The other day I put out a word saying another person is not a threat to your relationship. It's your or your person's unmet needs. Let's elaborate. There are situations and instances where our insecurities will literally push our partner into another person's arms. It doesn't mean your partner is not accountable or responsible for themselves and shouldn't know how to act accordingly, as to say, be committed to your relationship. I'm not saying that. Not at all. What I'm saying is your need to sit with whatever is causing you to feel insecure could prevent your partner from stepping out. In other words, pull the plank out of your own eye before you try to pull the speck out of someone else's. Always being suspicious of things when there's not anything to be suspicious of could easily cause your partner to feel like, well, I'm being accused of it, I might as well do it. I mean, facts are facts. You can only assure someone so much. Hey, that's not true. I'm not doing this. You can only give somebody so much confirmation before you finally decide, like, listen, bruh, either I'm gonna walk away from this situation or you need to get help. Why? Because insecurity is a mindset. It's not based off of whether or not you can see this person or not. Because we'll say stuff like, I only trust you as far as I can see you. Well, even when you can see them, you're still not trusting them. And that's the problem. It's not them, it's you. It's the way you think. So whether you're in their presence or not, you still feel they're stepping out on you. And it isn't to say that they're not. I'm not saying that at all, because we all are capable. Never underestimate anybody. But what I am saying is Satan is the accuser of the brethren. Don't just be accusing people of doing things because you woke up this morning and you heard a song. Like, oh my God. Oh God. All right, let's just do it. I'm single. But this morning I woke up with a song by, I think it's Cut Close, Fooling Around. And it goes like, fooling around, fooling around. But she's saying, you're fooling around. She's talking about her person cheating on her. And I'm a single woman, might I add. So let's say that I heard this and I'm in a relationship and this song just came out of the blue. And now I'm suspicious. Don't that sound suspicious? And we automatically think that's my intuition. That's God trying to tell me something. Instead of considering that what God is trying to tell you is that somewhere within you, you are insecure about yourself, not the other person. Instead of self-introspection, we'll project and we feel that it's someone else doing something to us, which makes us suspicious of everyone. Everyone's untrustworthy at that point. And we're constantly testing people to see just how disloyal or loyal they are. All the while, the disloyalty is to yourself. You're not willing to sit with yourself long enough to introspect and see where the insecurity may live in you, existing in you. Now you're bleeding on those that you love because you're not whole. When two people come together, it's supposed to be a hole in the hole. But when we are broken, we will come together with somebody and expect them to patch up all our wounds, never going to God for him to do the work in us. So if you're constantly suspicious of everything someone is doing, don't you ever consider that maybe it's a you thing and not a them thing? Maybe somewhere within yourself, you are cheating on yourself, on God, perhaps. Maybe there are some thoughts you have about yourself that are not God-like. Maybe there are some things about yourself that you do not like. Maybe somewhere within you are hating yourself, cheating on yourself. We will project that energy onto our spouse, aiding in their ability to step out of the relationship or the marriage altogether. And then we'll blame them for it. I don't know that our partner in that situation wouldn't be wrong for feeling unsafe with us, because technically we're not even emotionally available with ourselves for us to be emotionally available with them. I can't feel safe with you. Y'all know I'm a okay, all right, okay. I mentioned in that video, your person's unmet needs is really the problem, and that there is a void there that our Father in heaven needs to fill. If we are not going to the Father to fill that void, we will go in our own way, not in his way. God will quite literally use you to fill that void. But if you are not available, the devil will send in someone else. So I used to know this couple, and we're just going to name them Sally and Ben. Sally and Ben came together as a couple under the guise of Sally being the backbone for Ben to get himself together, to get himself established and create a foundation for himself. You can say she's like the fixer of the relationship. She's taken lead, taken charge. She is the head. And at this point, he's the tail. So what did he feel? Suppressed and oppressed, and as if he could not lead the marriage or lead the relationship. Let's go deeper. It's a power struggle, and quite naturally, once Ben gets himself together and he's ready to lead, take his rightful position as the masculine in the relationship, the provider, the protector, and the fixer, when he's ready to do that, now Sally is having a hard time giving up that power, that seat, that role. She's not ready to submit to him. He's struggling with wanting someone who's understanding, nurturing. He's missing that feminine aspect in the relationship. Ultimately, it seems to Ben like he's married to, I don't know, Paul instead of Sally, because it's a power trip in the relationship dynamic. It's masculine and masculine instead of a masculine and a feminine. Even if Ben were to take this to God and say, Lord Jesus, help me and my wife equally yoke. You know what I'm saying? If Sally is not also going to God to help with her insecurities and to help her release this power struggle, there goes Satan. He doesn't even have to look for it. Because while God was trying to use Sally, and Sally wasn't ready to allow God to use her, the devil sent in a decoy. And Sally is constantly looking for situations to validate her insecurity, never tapping into how she may have contributed. So again, sometimes our own insecurities can cause our significant other to run into another person's arms. It's not that another person is a threat to your relationship. It's their unmet needs. If you are insecure and nitpicking and always suspicious, there's only so much confirmation, assurance I can give you. You got to take that to God. If you're not willing to do that and allow God to use you, the enemy will send in a decoy. The enemy will use someone else. And we're not ready to really have that discussion. We're not ready to talk about the inner work or even the things that we do that contribute to our partner being deceitful or cheating or acting out of character. It's always outward. We're always projecting. And oftentimes it's your secure attachment that's going to help your partner's insecure or anxious attachment style. And God may be trying to use you in that moment, standing in our wholeness to help our partner. Instead, we make it worse. We'll validate our own insecurities. It's like, how is that teamwork? It seems like we're fighting against each other. And that's precisely what the enemy wants. Now Ben has found that feminine energy somewhere else. And all the while, it was Sally's insecurity that pushed him into the arms of another woman. And it does not mean that he's not responsible and accountable for what he does and that he doesn't have self-control. It does not mean that he's not responsible for that and that God will not hold him accountable for that. But we have to recognize how we will contribute to our own demise.